Hello, dear. Let us delve into artificial intelligence or computational intelligence. The content being ANN, artificial neural network, fuzzy logic, and neuro fuzzy system. So, artificial intelligence, its subset known as computational intelligence, which we are going to apply to various applications. The recent buzzword about machine learning, deep learning, AI, all this comes from computational intelligence, subset of artificial intelligence. So let us look into what is the meaning of the term artificial intelligence or computational intelligence, and what are the various components, why we call it as intelligent system, and so on. So we will be talking on computational intelligence basically with reference to subset of artificial intelligence, AI. So we will be first talking a little bit on AI, artificial intelligence. Then we'll delve into computational intelligence, and then what are the CI models. Now, what is all about that computational intelligence? There is something known as Turing test by Alan Turing, the father of electronic era of computing. He proposed a test to check the intelligence of a machine, very popularly known as the Turing test. And then from there, what was the objection, and then how an alternative definition of computational intelligence got evolved. Knowing this history will definitely put us to more motivational activity, rather we'll get more motivated towards learning this computational intelligence and then applying it to our day-to-day problems wherever we could use this computational intelligence, AI, because as it is rightly said, that artificial intelligence is understood only by those people who have natural intelligence. And I consider that you as engineer are having by default natural intelligence. So it is better to delve into artificial intelligence and see how the computational methods are applied to imbibe intelligence into machine intelligence, machine learning, all those parameters. So what is all about that computational intelligence, the Turing test, and then alternative definition of this computational intelligence we go into detail. Now what is this Turing test? It was proposed by Alan Turing in 1950. 1949-50, he proposed this test to check whether a machine can think or not. Can machines think? That was the question. Although Alan Turing proposed this method of testing, he himself was not very much convinced with this idea. Because Turing himself thought that this question, can machine think, itself is an absurd question. Because you think, you just look at, it is 1950. Today we are in 2020. It is around 70 years back. 70 years back, what is the technological advancement taken place over the period of these 7 decades? 1945 to 1955, we consider as the first generation of electronic computer. It was first generation of computing, when it was possible to show that Boolean logic can be applied into a technology, and then electronic tube-based machines, rather computers, were developed. And over the period of these 70 years, what was a huge building as a computer, 100 times more powerful computer is in your hand at this moment. Your mobile phone, cell phone. So over the period of 70 years, 7 decades, what changes have taken place, how our view about intelligence itself has changed, how knowledge has evolved, and now we are more matured on that side. Okay, intelligence earlier, artificial intelligence basically earlier dealt with. This is not out of question here to tell you about that. In early stages of AI, it was thought by all the artificial intelligence scientists, AI scientists, that we try to make machines capable of doing what otherwise a human being is able to do. So that intelligence was thought that way, that a human being can speak. So natural language processing and speech processing was part of AI. We can understand the language. So natural language understanding was part of AI. We can see, computer vision was part of AI. Walk, robotics, part of AI. So the definition of artificial intelligence itself was something like that, to make the machine to do what the human being are better to do that. So whatever was possible by human being was to be imitated by a machine. And that was the definition of artificial intelligence. Making the machine to do what human being can do. And with that thought, rather with that idea, all the development in AI were focused, rather targeted with that. Over the period of time, when neural network got evolved, then fuzzy logic came into, then genetic algorithm came into, and it was thought that ultimately it is decision making. What we are talking about, eyes, nose, ear, mouth, tongue, speech, vision, audio, video, they are all information collectors. Ultimately, decision is taken by a human brain, and that decision making is the crux. So therefrom, the view changed from making the machine do what human being can do. Instead of that, how human brain takes a decision, making the machine capable of taking that decision, and then making the machine to learn, to adapt to the changes environment. So with this paradigm shift, you can just look into when we will be talking about artificial intelligence and then computational intelligence. So this Turing test for intelligence was proposed by Alan Turing. It's a very interesting test. You will love it. You will see that. Deals with question, can machines think? Although he proposed this question that we would like to have a test to check whether the machine can think or not, he himself was not convinced with this. He thought that this question itself is absurd. And then this stupidity was rather afterwards proved by other scientists, and then we migrated to something else, what is today known as computational intelligence. Now, because Turing thought this question absurd because the question was how to define thinking. What is that involved in? Thinking as a process. Can you describe it? When you say, I am thinking, what are you doing? And what is your brain doing? Think. What is the brain doing? How to define that? Meaning, think, मराठी मध्ये विचार करणे, हिंदी में सोचना. But what is that? How do we do that process? Thinking as a verb. So what is that? When I say catch, I am holding something. When I say shout, I am shouting. But then when I say think, what way you can describe that process? Thinking. So dealt with it with a thought experiment. So because it was to prove that whether machine can think or not, the Turing test was decided on the basis of a thought experiment. And what was that? Just look at this. Turing suggested that there should be a room in which one interrogator person, human being, is sitting, and he is going to interrogate to two people in some other room. Interrogator does not know who are the persons in the other rooms. Now, in second room, there is one woman and there is one man. What is the objective? The man's objective is to convince interrogator that he is a woman. What is that? In second room, there is a man and there is a woman. The man's objective is to convince the interrogator that he is a woman. So he will be speaking in such a style and tone and in voice that he will pretend himself to be a woman. Interrogator does not know. There are two persons in other room, but both of them are women, both of them are men, or one is man, one is woman. He doesn't know. Interrogator doesn't know. Now, interrogator is in one room, man and women in another room. Man's objective is to convince interrogator that he is a woman, and women's objective is to help the interrogator to believe in that no, the other person who is speaking is man, I am two women. So, women's objective is to help the interrogator. Though she will not say that the other person who is speaking is man, she will specify some manner that interrogator will be able to identify where from, whether it is women or it is man who is responding to his questions. After a while, the interrogator, because interrogator is going to interrogate, he is going to ask the questions, and they will be answered by women as well as man. Man's objective is to prove that he is a woman, and women is going to help the interrogator to believe that no, I am two women and the other fellow is not women. So after a while, the interrogator must decide which is which. So interrogator should be able to decide without looking at those persons, just listening to the replies and answers from those two persons. Interrogator will be able to identify and decide which one is women, which one is men. This test, now we replace that man by machine, computer. Second phase of that goes as that man is replaced by machine. And now machine is also trying to behave like a woman. And then interrogator is going to ask the questions. So what we do? The next phase of the Turing test, the machine replaces the man. Women is as it is, interrogator is as it is. Without knowledge of interrogator, that man is replaced by machine, and then machine gives reply on behalf of man. Will the interrogator decide wrongly as often as before? Interrogator asks certain question that is posed both to the machine as well as to women, and both of them answer. They reply. In this situation, will the interrogator decide wrongly as often as before? Means, interrogator misunderstood the man to be women. Very similar, the machine is misunderstood to be women. So, in other words, can the machine convince the interrogator that it is human, it is women, as often as a man can pass as a woman? Earlier, when man was pretending to be a woman, and then he was fooling the interrogator that he is a woman. In this case, when that man is replaced by a machine, can the machine convince the interrogator that it is human, very similar to a man could pass as a woman? That is the question. Now this test was put to the test, and it was David Fagel for the first time in 1994 or so. Fagel objected on this. The Turing test is no more a test for intelligence. He argued that the Turing test is no more a test for intelligence. Just it is a test for femininity. Means whether the man is feminine or masculine gender. That is what he proved. The Turing test is not the test for intelligence. It is just the test for femininity. You truly observe whether the person is woman or man. A man does not become a woman because he can fool you to thinking that he is a woman. The interrogator is fooled to think that both of the persons sitting in the other room are women. So this doesn't prove the intelligence of the machine. That machine is able to think. What was argued that the Turing test is no more a test for intelligence than it is a test for femininity. A man doesn't become a woman because he can fool you into thinking that he is a woman. It is your thinking process which has been rather biased, made biased to think. So it doesn't get that person to change into a woman. By the same token, a machine doesn't become an intelligent machine because it is able to fool the interrogator into thinking that the machine is thinking. So this Turing test itself was put to test, and then it was argued that this cannot be the test for intelligence. But still, most of the time when expert systems are developed, to test whether that expert system is really behaving like a human expert, this Turing test is still utilized, and it has been identified that if an expert system developed can pass this Turing test, then it is really imitating the behavior of a human expert. Typical example you must have heard, there is some blue chip program from IBM which had beaten in chess the Garry Kasparov, the grand. So the program was first tested using this Turing test. The program written by that blue chip program for playing chess was first tested by using this Turing test, and then it was rather placed in front of face to face with Garry Kasparov, where Garry Kasparov was beaten by that. That is a separate story, but then expert systems are still tested by using this Turing test. However, Turing test failed to define the term intelligence, or the intelligent machine. An alternative definition came then because Turing test was not a very rather appropriate test to check whether the machine can think or not. So an alternative definition came from the human brain. And what is that? Intelligence is the capability of a decision-making system. Intelligence means what? It is a capability of a decision-making system. Capability of decision-making system to adopt its behavior to meet its goals in a range of environments. Definition carries so many things. Be careful. Intelligence we are defining as a capability of a decision-making system. That decision-making system can be you as a humanistic system, your brain, or it can be a computer system, or it can be any computational intelligence system. So intelligence is a capability of a decision-making system. And what is the capability? To adapt its behavior to meet its goal in a range of environments. One example will clarify the idea about this capability of decision making. Just recall the bicycle, riding a bicycle you learnt in your early days. You must have learnt riding a bicycle. Typical of the sense, a typical kind of bicycle used to be there. Earlier, ladies used to use that typical other kind of bicycles, ladies' bicycles. Then we used to learn by using a typical small size bicycle. Earlier it was a tricycle, then bicycle, and then after 8-10 days we started balancing it. Then we went on seat. So typically in our we start with that kaichi, danda, then seat. That was the phases. First, you try to ride using kaichi kind of thing. Then you see whether you can just ride on the bicycle using on the rod. Then third phase, you go on the seat. You sit on the seat and then try to balance the wheel. Is the same environment available to you when you actually started riding a bicycle and taking it on road? You learned how to ride a bicycle, and it was a typical bicycle on which you learned. The same bicycle is not available to you now. Earlier it was a different shape of handle. Now there are different shapes of handle. You now have that racing bicycles also. So you need not to learn it separately. You are adapting your behavior according to the environment. Whatever bicycle is presented to you and you are asked to ride, because you have learned it, the same environment is not available to you. Now you are learning this computational intelligence sitting in at your home and trying to adapt it to a particular environment. The same environment you are not going to apply when you are going to apply computational intelligence to any problem. So you will adapt to that environment. So what is intelligence? It is the capability of a decision making system to adapt to the adapt the behavior according to the change of environment, and that is the meaning of intelligence. So again it was given by Fazell only. Fazell only suggested that intelligence should be defined as the capability of a decision making system for adapting its behavior to meet its goal in a range of environment. Changing environment, you should be able to change or adapt your behavior, and that is what we mean by the term intelligence. Computational intelligence is the term now coined. Artificial intelligence or computational intelligence. Why the change? AI or CI? What is the change? And why the change? Computational intelligence is not away from AI. It is subset of AI. AI encompasses so many other things, not only thinking, decision making, but it tries to imitate the intelligent behavior of a human being. What is that intelligent behavior? Speaking, learning a new language, speech processing, understanding, natural language understanding, walking, talking. So that comes under artificial intelligence. But decision making is also, thinking and decision making is also a faculty of human brain. So there comes your computational intelligence. The change is Bezdek, that the fellow who objected on Turing test. According to Bezdek, 1994, computational intelligence is a subset of AI. It is a subset of AI, artificial intelligence. And then we talk about two types of machine intelligence. Two types of machine intelligence. The artificial intelligence based on hard computing technique, and the computational intelligence based on soft computing methods. AI is based on hard computing technique, whereas computational intelligence, CI, is based on soft computing technique. And what is the difference? Hard computing techniques work by following hard computing technique, they work by following binary logic based on only two values, 0, 1. Whereas soft computing techniques work by following fuzzy logic based on multiple values. Get the idea? Computational intelligence, artificial intelligence. So definitely what is available in binary logic can be available in fuzzy logic, but what is available in fuzzy logic may not be available in binary logic. So that way, soft computing is subset of hard computing, and computation intelligence is subset of AI. So with this thing in mind, now let us move on to various computational intelligence models. What we are going to cover here, that will be available to you from this discussion. We will be basically studying three general paradigms of computational intelligence. And what are those? Artificial neural network, very common, very popular nowadays when we talk about deep learning, machine learning, deep learning, big data, data sciences, applying machine learning to big data. All that thing started with ANN. As you go into the details of ANN, you will realize that it was as early as 1940-45 that ANN were evolved. And from there, 1945 I am talking about, 1940-45 I am talking about. That 75 years. 75 years of time. Now, the era has come wherein there is some technology available to support that concept of ANN, artificial neural network, fast computing, high power computing available, and that is the reason it is possible to have machine learning. It is possible to have deep learning networks which can go beyond imagination of a human decision making. Yes. This deep learning, machine learning has surpassed the human thinking. Though it will not be able to replace human brain, because the one very natural intelligence which is given to the brain, which may not be available to computational intelligence system or AI based system, is that innovation. Innovative ideas, they crop up in human mind, which are not yet possible through even deep learning networks. Now, so three general paradigms of computational intelligence. One is that artificial neural network. Another one is rule based fuzzy systems. Fuzzy system based on fuzzy logic. And then combination of artificial neural network and fuzzy systems, neurofuzzy systems. So we will be mainly concentrating on ANN, rule-based fuzzy systems, and neurofuzzy system. Although there are further enhancement to this computational intelligence model, what is known as genetic algorithm, GAs, evolutionary computing, as it goes into. Then we have immune system, human immune systems. They are also part of this soft computing. Immune system, biologically inspired computing system known as immune system. So that can also go as. Then we have probabilistic approach to replace the fuzzy systems, rather to support the fuzzy system, not replace. CI models. Why we have different models? You may be wondering, we will be talking about artificial neural networks, then we will be talking about fuzzy logic, then we have neurofuzzy system, then we have genetic algorithm, then we have human immune system or artificial immune systems, AIs, artificial immune systems. So why different models? These different models have come based on no free lunch theorem. Nothing comes without cost. If you are taking artificial neural network to solve certain problem, they will not become solution for all. There are certain problems which can be very well solved by ANN, but there are certain other classes of problems which ANN are unable to solve. So if A on which the algorithm performs well, there will always be a problem B on which the algorithm does not perform at all, or it performs very poor, fails rather. Typically, they consider that if a driver is very proficient in driving a light vehicle, and suddenly, because he is a driver and he is having the skills of driving the light vehicle, car, very proficiently, even ambulance, he can drive very nicely and very fast. Now suddenly there is a fire brigade and it has to take that bus. The ambulance driver is now placed on heavy vehicle. He may not perform there as efficiently as he was performing here. So if there is a problem A on which the algorithm is performing nicely, there will be some other class of problem wherein it will fail miserably. So we have to identify the solution to those kind of problems. What it means is nothing is good at everything. You are proficient in, I am proficient in one particular area. I cannot be master of all. Cannot be. No one can be. Except the Almighty. So nothing is good at everything. So then comes the rule-based systems. If ANN is not able to solve, maybe we could solve it by means of rule-based system.